Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Inain's Forensic Classroom. So in our previous lecture, we discussed forensic biology and we understood that it's a branch of forensic science that deals with the examination of biological evidence. We also briefly mentioned another term, which is forensic serology. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. If I ask you what comes to your mind when you hear the word serology? Now, most of you would probably answer blood. Some of you might even think that, forensic serology is simply the study of blood. Well, that's only partially correct. So today let's understand what forensic serology actually is and why it is considered one of the most important branches of forensic science. Now, just like we did in the previous lecture, let's first understand the meaning of the term. The word forensic, as we already know, it refers to the application of science to legal investigations and matters that are related to the court. And the word serology basically originated from the word serum, which you might be knowing is the clear yellowish liquid that remains after blood has clotted and the clotting factors have been removed. In medicine and immunology, serology originally developed as the study of serum and the antigen-antibody reactions. However, in forensic science, the meaning of serology has expanded. Today, forensic serology is the branch of forensic science that deals with the detection, identification, examination, and interpretation of body fluids that are found as evidence in legal investigation. Now, notice something important here. The definition doesn't say blood, it says body fluid. So, forensic serology is not limited to blood alone. It also includes the examination of semen, saliva, vaginal secretions, menstrual blood, urine, sweat, feces, vomit, breast milk, amniotic fluid, and other biological fluids whenever they're relevant to an investigation. Now, this brings us to another question that almost every beginner asks. Is forensic biology the same as forensic serology? Now, the answer is no, but they're closely related. Now, you can think of forensic biology as the large umbrella. Now, under this umbrella, we have different specialized areas, and one of those areas is forensic serology. So forensic biology is basically the broader field that deals with all kinds of biological evidence, including blood, body fluids, hair, bones, skin cells, nails, DNA, and many other biological samples. Whereas forensic serology, on the other hand, it mainly focuses on the body fluids. Right now, see, basically every forensic serology examination is a part of forensic biology, but not every forensic biology examination is forensic serology. Now, let's understand this with a very simple example. Imagine investigators recover this white stain from a bed sheet in a suspected sexual assault case. Now, can the laboratory immediately say that this stain is semen? No, right? It could be semen, but it also could be a saliva, vaginal secretions, or even an unrelated household stain. Now, before jumping to conclusions, laboratory has to answer several important questions, like, is the stain actually biological? If yes, which body fluids it is? Or is it of human origin? Is the sample suitable for DNA analysis? Or, has the stain been contaminated or degraded? Now, answering all of these questions is one of the major responsibilities of a forensic serologist. Now, many students ask another interesting question, like, if DNA profiling is so advanced today, why do we still need forensic serology? And that's a very good question. Now, imagine every stain that you collect from a crime scene was directly sent for DNA analysis, right? Now, DNA testing is highly sensitive. It requires specialized equipment. It takes time and is considerably more expensive than preliminary screening tests. Now, imagine spending all that time and effort only to discover that the stain was actually tomato ketchup or it was a red paint, right? And that would be a complete waste of laboratory resources. That's why forensic serology plays an important role. Now, before DNA analysis is performed, forensic serologists usually examine the stain to determine what the sample actually is and whether it is suitable for further DNA testing. So in many investigations, forensic serology acts as the first scientific screening step. before the DNA profiling. Now, does that mean forensic serology is less important than DNA? Not at all. In fact, DNA analysis often depends on the information that is provided by the forensic serology. Now, let's briefly talk about the objectives of forensic serology. The first objective is to detect biological stains that are recovered from crime scenes. The second is to identify the type of body fluid, whether it's blood, semen, saliva, or another biological fluid. The third objective is to determine, whenever required, whether the sample is of human or animal origin. Another important objective is to identify the most suitable samples for DNA analysis while ensuring that the evidence is properly preserved and documented. Finally, the forensic serologists interpret their findings and they prepare scientific reports that can assist investigators and the court. However, it's also important to understand the limitations of forensic serology. In many cases, forensic serology can tell us what the stain is, but it cannot tell us whose stain it is. For example, a confirmatory blood test can establish that a stain is blood, but it cannot identify the individual from whom that blood originated. For individual identification, we generally rely on DNA profiling, which we will study in detail later in the playlist. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the scope and importance of forensic biology and forensic serology. We will explore where these disciplines are applied, the type of cases in which they are used, and why they are considered indispensable in modern forensic investigations. And that's it for our today's lecture. I hope this session helped you understand what forensic serology is and how it's different from forensic biology. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more students who are passionate about forensic science. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Inain's Forensic Classroom and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos in this complete forensic biology and serology playlist. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.